Hello everyone and welcome back to Model in WimSwim, and today we are finally on to part 3 of our series. We're going to be going over how to include some swim elements in your WimSwim project. So far it's been just HSPF elements, meeting flow duration in the previous episode. If you haven't seen the previous 2 episodes, go back onto our YouTube channel, Model in WimSwim, and check those out. But now we're going to go into actually using swim hydraulic elements in the model and then setting up a run event and running it in WimSwim. So let's launch into the video here. We can see we had our pre-developed scenario with the basin, and then that basin went to this detention pond that we modeled using an auto sizing feature. Now let's say we want to include hydraulic elements in this model and not just represent the hydrologic functions. So we're going to delete the basin connection between the basin and detention pond, and we're going to add our swim elements. We're going to start off with a junction element by left clicking and adding it to the modeling space. I'm going to add 3 junctions to this model. Put them all in a row right here. I'm actually also going to add an outfall element that heads to the detention pond facility. That's pretty standard practice in a software like EPA Swim. Let's connect the basin to the junction, these junctions to the other junctions, finally to the outfall detention pond. You can do that by right clicking, dragging, and then unselecting the right click. Now all these elements are connected, but they don't have any data. So we need to go through and add some information here on these columns. In WimSwim, there's a great feature here. If you go to the element tab, swim editor, it really conveniently pulls up all your different swim elements in a row here. So you can view them all at the same time. So you can get all of their different features squared away and make sure that they all correlate correctly. For these different junctions, we're going to start off with an invert element elevation of 50 feet. Going down to 49, and then 48. So we have it descending there. We're going to give each of them a max depth of 1 foot. And then I'm going to change the rim elevations to 5, 6, and 7 feet. And now we have our junctions squared away here, but we do need to change the settings for our outfall. All we're going to do for that is for invert elevation is set it to 47. Since the upstream elements were 50, 49, 48, 47, we're now going from upstream to downstream order. So all the elements are now set up and we're ready to run this project. But if I just clicked run, it would run the entire time series that we have for the WimSwim or the hydrologic portion of the model. It would run the entire thing also through all the swim elements, and that would take a very, very long time. So WimSwim has a very convenient feature. It's the events analysis feature, where we can choose which events we want to add and run for and what duration we want to run them for. So if I select the CTAC 15-minute rain gauge, it'll pull up all the events, their time duration, what month they were in, the peak value, the depth value, and then a quick graph of it. It'll actually pull that up for you, and you can decide which event you want to run. So I'm going to scroll down here. I want to run this October 1981 event. It occurred over 16 hours. I'm going to left click on that here in the table and then click add events. And this is my global events screen where I can choose which events I would like to run. So you can see here there's a default December 1955 10-hour event. I'm going to choose this 16-hour October 1981 event. And you can see the quick graph over here of the storm event. I'm going to click close. That is the event now selected. So when I go to run, it'll run this specific event as opposed to the entire time series. You can also change a number of run configurations here in the run configuration screen. For both your pre-developed and mitigated scenario, this includes all the different swim options that you're used to in EPA Swim. General, dates, time step, dynamic wave. You can modify all those things in WimSwim as well. We're going to stick with the default settings. You can also show a number of HSPF options that come included. Let's close this out and let's click the run button. And now it's going to run this project through that entire 16-hour event. You can see here, this happens pretty quickly. You can run entire lengths of time series, but that involves using a function known as turbo swim, which requires a lot of power from your computer. And sometimes is necessary, but I think that this one event will do the job. You can see how it goes through the different time series and different events here through the entire element. It runs the HSPF and the swim through the entire thing. Okay, so the run is complete for all the swim elements here. And we're going to go into some of the analysis features we can utilize with the swim elements. So that says how to set up a simple swim model in WimSwim. So we're combining HSPF and swim elements. If you have any questions, leave it in a comment down below. We'll get to some of the advanced high-powered analysis features that allow you to analyze both swim, hydrologic, and hydraulic functions as well. So thank you so much for watching. Anyways, we will see you guys next time.